Good evening. Another video. You know why I'm making lots of videos? Because I'm getting excited. The more I'm researching Switzerland, the more excited I'm getting. I have just found a niche in the market for Switzerland that I'm not going to say anything in public, but I've been doing research, and yeah, I found a niche where I think I'm going to do very well. Now, I have been researching a lot of things because, I was talking about how I want to have my own dairy because I want to produce my own dairy products. Because when it comes to business, if you have the money to make the stuff yourself without having to outsource as much as possible, it actually saves you more money and gives you a better return when it comes to doing your taxes, right? So, I want to try and do everything I can. And if I have to outsource anything, like say with my contractors, make the company my company. Because when they've finished building everything I need them to build, I'm going to need like movie sets built and things like that. So we've always got things to do for them. Okay, so why not just have my own contracting firm? And why not have my own fashion house rather than, having to look for other companies to do it all for me? So it's all that sort of thing. Plus, it gives all the kids, the chance to make a bit of extra money, gives them a chance to learn different things that they're interested in, that sort of thing. So I'll have to talk to some dairy farmers about getting them to produce my dairy for me with the stipulation that the cows are antibiotic free where possible. I want everything to be organic and chemical free. I want my farms to be run like how they were in the 1930s and 40s and all that, before all the nonsense. I also don't want to slaughter my animals. For my I know how I'm going to get my meat for my food and all that, but we won't be a slaughtering farm at all. All our animals will die of natural causes. So when it comes to producing my own flour and that, obviously because I'm having a bakery and we're doing pies and making our own pizza and doing our own fish and chips and that, so I need flour. So I want to have my own flour mill, and I've just been researching Switzerland for their wheat farms and all that. And because Switzerland is famous for their bread, I didn't know that each region is famous for their own bread, kind of like here in Great Britain. You have Baps and Barms and, rolls and all of that sort of thing, Scottish rolls, and they're all very different from each other here. Most places do have their regional breeds and regional roles in that here in the UK. So that's exciting because it means that it's going to give us the opportunity to come up with our own kind of breed. And my boys will be able to tell you, and even my neighbours, and that I have been rehearsing and practicing making all different kinds of breeds. Like, oh my God, I've probably lost count at the amount of different breed recipes that I've tried. I want to produce my own flour, so I'm going to need to find a farmer who's prepared to grow crops for me so that I can have my flour, make all my different flours, my wheat and my rye and all of that for what my bakers are going to need. But I want everything to be organic, no genetically modified, nothing, chemical free, beautiful, healthy bread. And yeah, apparently it's quite expensive to eat out in Switzerland. So it's like I must have known because I haven't designed any actual restaurants, and all the food places with me where you will be able to eat, it's not restaurant food. All my food establishments are the sort of places where people, when they're holidaying in Switzerland would go to eat anyway because it's cheaper than going to a restaurant. And it sounds like my supermarket because this research that I was doing, they were saying that people tend to grab food from the supermarket and cook it at home. So all the food that I'm going to be doing in my little department store, in my little store, homebound, or homeward bound, they'll be able to come pick up some of my goujons, or my chicken cutlets, or my version of KFC, which I'm still to perfect. Even like our pies and pizzas and all that sort of thing. We'll have them in the freezer. We'll have them in the fridge area. Get them fresh at the takeaway, or if you're close enough, food ferry deliveries. And yeah, will be affordable. And because everything's going to be kind of like homemade, we won't need to charge a lot. But I found a niche in the market that I think is going to make me stand out from everyone else in the area. And then if I'm able to have my stores all over the country and all over the world, yeah, I'm quite excited about that. Apparently, pizza is a big thing there because obviously being so close to Italy and a lot of the immigrants being Italian, so my pizzas are going to have to be fan-dabby-dozy in order to be in competition with them. But apparently the pizzas there aren't anything to sing about anyway. But see, I think I make beautiful homemade pizzas. I've been making homemade pizza for years. Even my ex-husband, Chris, his granddad, George, he loved my pepperoni pizzas. He like when I used to go and visit Granny and Granddad, he always used to ask for my pizzas. Like, he used to get so happy when he knew I was taking him one of my pizzas. So yeah, people like my pizzas. People like my food. And there's people, because I've been watching Twitter, not sort of really saying anything, but I've been watching Twitter and I've been watching everything fall apart. And obviously there's the doomsday people. Nipah virus is coming. We're all going to die. They're starting World War III, blah, 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 blah. The warmongers and the fearmongers are out trolling, sucking up souls of people who are currently terrified at everything that's collapsing down around them. Hang on, I made myself a cup of tea. So if I take a break, it's just because I'm having a sip of my cup of tea. I'm going to do my own tea and coffee too. Hang on. And people are saying like World War III, Nipah virus, we're all doomed, they're all killing us off. These people saying this has all been done by design so that they can wipe everything out and go underground so that they kill us off, and then they'll resurface and, populate the world and go to Mars and yada blah. But then there's other people that are saying, well, the stock market's crashed, Bitcoin's gone, gold sunk, silver's sunk, the US dollar's sunk, this is sunk, like what do we invest our money in? And I just thought, me, you invest your money in me, because I'm Gen X, and I grew up at a time where movies were good, and video games were good, and food was good, before they put all the shit in the food, before fashion was sexualized and promiscuity was in, before Baphomet started encouraging people to be polyamorous and all of that sort of thing. I'm Gen X. And the one thing that I noticed that my boys and I discussed for many years is that people are crying out for movies and entertainment and that to be like how it used to be. They don't make movies like they used to anymore. They don't make video games like they used to anymore. And my boys and I have spent many years developing video games and movies and that are old school. Give people what they want. If people are crying out for it, give them what they want. See a need, fill a need. I'm that kind of person. And so we've worked so hard. And the thing is, investing in me, because I am really good at spotting market crashes, and I'm good with that sort of thing. Everything that I've created with the purpose of making sure that long after I'm gone, we're still making money. I don't ever want to get to a point where my school's having to rely, or my foundation is having to rely on the government to keep us going. Hang on. The countries that we sign these kids up to, they'll be paying for them to come to us because it'll be cheaper than therapy and medication and locking them up and, you know, that sort of thing. So their room and board isn't going to be very much. And then anything else that they want to earn outside of their food, there's going to be plenty of jobs for them, especially like food ferry deliveries, working in the stores, you know, giving them a sense of independence and responsibility, and, you know, teaching them how to handle their finances and savings and investments and all that sort of thing. They'll learn all of this from us because that's one of the things that Gabriel wanted to do. Because obviously they're my CEOs, that, you know, they're like my VPs on my board of directors. He wants to learn the business side of my empire from the ground up. He's interested in that sort of thing. He wants to see how I do it all. So I'll be teaching the kids the same kind of responsibilities that I taught my kids. I mean, by the time my kids were able to walk and hold rags and cloths in that, they were doing chores and earning pocket money for it. By the time they were 2, you know, they were getting pocket money every week for picking up their toys. And Thomas used to love cleaning my bathroom. I got him like a little kiddie house cleaning set. And he just thought it was the greatest thing ever, and he would earn pocket money for it. And now, at nearly 16 and just turned 17, they're both really, really good with their money. They're not afraid to do something in order to earn extra money. What can I do to earn extra pocket money? That's what they used to say. So the kids will be taught the same thing, because they'll all be responsible for, you know, making their beds and all of that. So as long as I've got kids coming into that school, we will always be making money, because we'll be opening, you know, our gates will be open to the public as well. And like I said, I want to be a tourist spot. I want people to look us up on Joogla and be like, you know, with TripAdvisor and that, oh my God, we need to go there. That sounds amazing. Because my boys and I have made sure that we're going to have festivals and that, like almost every month we're going to have something different happening, where there's going to be reasons to come and have picnics in the park and sit and listen to concerts and watch outdoor plays and kids performances, you know, with kids performers like Miss Jodine and friends. And we'll have like an indoor movie theatre, and we'll have like, you know, like old school movie nights. And obviously when we've been established for a while and it's Halloween, you know, we'll be able to have like Halloween fright nights, and where it's all like classic horror movies and premiere our horror movies, and we'll have red carpet events. And we've made sure that we've always got something on that appeals to all tastes. And the one thing that people will travel the world for is good food and good entertainment. And we fit that bill. So anyone who invests in me, you know, we might not be Bitcoin money, but you won't be unhappy with investing in us, because we're a sure thing. You'll never have to worry about us going under, because I've written so many movies, TV shows, video games. We're always going to have stuff to make, even if I'm only blessed with having the one foundation and I don't get to have another foundation anywhere in the world, but just have my shops. We'll have enough projects to keep going for decades. But I'm hoping I can have multiple schools because I really need to fill my streaming service up. But the big problem that I know a lot of people, a lot of companies in the video games industry have is projects. Having contracts where they have games to make. A lot of them sit there twiddling their thumbs, having to make little tiny small things like fill their time making iOS games and games for tablets and phones and that, because they've got no AAAs or anything like that. Well, see, I mean, if we were to turn the Quantum Menace into a video game, that's 3 movies turned into 3 games. And the Soul Collector, I mean, she can make a whole series of games just based off that one comic. I've found multiple ways of making money off everything I've written, from products. See, one of the things that Gabriel and I wanted to get into was making our own cereal. I don't have everything I need here, but I really want to learn to make my own muesli and granola. But he wants to do like, bran flakes and cornflakes and all that sort of thing. So producing our own wheat. So I need to find dairy farmers in Switzerland, and I need to find farmers who are willing to grow my wheat and my rye and all that, so that we can do our cereals and our breads and make our own pasta. And so I want to go back to the old days, how they used to do it back in the day. I'm going to need to find someone who will help me with my brewery. Again, rye and barley and yeast and all that. Like, if I can produce my own, then I can have my own brewery and produce my own ales and lagers. I'll have an orchard and botanicals and herb garden and that, so I can do my own like cider and make my own gin. Like, I want to do as much of my own as I possibly can, ports and sherries and like plum sherry. Yeah, so I need orchards, and so I'm going to need farmers. I'm going to need dairy farmers. I'm going to need horticulturalists and, landscapers and people look after my greenhouses and that. And do you know what I realised when I was making my cup of tea? See, the place that I found today that I fell in love with, I think it might be from my Snow White Rose Red dream. Remember, I had that Snow White Rose Red dream. And how did the dream start? Someone knocked on my window and I opened the door and I walked away. I was led by the 7 dwarfs. And they took me to the river. Like, we had to build that bridge across the river. And that man was standing on the other side. And when I followed him to where he was, I was in that garden. And was there a fountain? But I know he picked a rose or something and he gave it to me. And I knew that that was symbolic of him getting me pregnant. And I swear to God, the garden in that dream is the garden from the property that I saw today that I fell in love with. It hit me like a ton of bricks when I was making my cup of tea. Because when I saw it, I was thinking, like, it felt familiar. I thought, why does it feels like home, it feels familiar. It feels like it's calling me. And then I realised when I was making my cup of tea, I think that's the garden from my dream. I'll put the link to the Snow White Rose Red dream in there, but I'm sure that was it. I'm sure it is. Like, it felt familiar. Oh, don't you hate it when you drink a cup of tea fast? Ugh. I like to savour my cup of tea, but drink it fast enough because I hate cold tea. Well, I hate warm tea. And that just went down too fast, and I'm drinking from a huge cup too. So, and and I can have my horsies. I can have my horses. So people are freaking out because they're pulling their money out of things and they don't know what to put it into. And I know exactly what to put it into. I was always told the 3 S's. But because I've been a good girl with God, He's let me in on a few little secrets that I've been keeping an eye on. And it's like, oh my goodness, I know exactly what to invest my money in. Even if I never had my foundations or anything like that, I'd still be investing my money in these 8 things. But it just so happens that these 8 things are all involved in my business. My place is going to be classy. My foundation is going to be classy, but family friendly. Classy for the family. Affordable, everything. Oh, I can't say anything because so many people steal my stuff, but I can't wait to be able to sit with people with my pen and paper and just draw it all out, and then sit with my architect and, oh, I have a dream. Oh, that's my cup of tea done. Bummer. So, yeah, so I've accidentally stumbled into a little secret about Switzerland that is they're crying out for it. And I've got the answer. So people could invest in me. They could invest their money in me because it's a sure thing. The only thing is, I'm not taking money from anyone who's connected to God's enemy. So, like Bill Gates's kid or von der Leyen's kid, or if their family members are on the Epstein list and that. I would rather take money from normal, average, everyday people. The people that work for the council or the people that work in the supermarket who were looking to invest their money in something like these people that have lost everything. It's horrible watching these people on X talk about how they've been wiped out. And, somebody said, oh my God, Donald Trump scammed us. We've lost everything. He scammed us. Like, people are realizing that him and Elon Musk and all of that have completely screwed them over, sold them a dream, and then wiped them out, which is what I said they were going to do. They've stolen everything. They've stolen off everyone, and now people are waking up and realise that's exactly what's happened. And these people have been wiped out. They don't see a future. And it's like, if you invested in me, your grandkids would be making money. Your great-grandkids would be making money. As long as I've got kids coming through those gates, we will always be making money. Because it's a school. I want to be still standing in 200 years' time. People are so fed up with this digital, fast-paced, shoved in your face AI technology, fast-paced, immoral social behaviour now, that they're crying out for the good old days. And I feel like Willy Wonka. Remember when he comes down and Gene Wilder, and he does the somersault and lands at the gates and opens it up. And just lets everybody walk in and they're just in awe. I want to open the gates and let people walk in and feel like they're stepping back into their childhood. It makes me sad that these people trusted people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and now they've seen for themselves that these people never had their backs. They're all starting to be held accountable for it, though. Court cases and investigations are opening up with Congress and with the World Economic Forum and with the Met and all of that. So all hell's breaking loose. People are being forced to have to investigate the corruption now because it runs so deep through politics and through the oligarchy and all of that. And it's kind of leaving everyone bewildered. And I just want to say to them, just look in my direction. Just come with me, follow me, and let's work together we can take our mind off everything by focusing on innocence and tradition and purity and wholesome entertainment, and let them fight amongst themselves, but we'll sit down and watch movies in the park that were made by a bunch of kids and their mentors, based on stories that my sons and I created. And let's just close the gates and shut the world shut the world out and step back into our childhood. And I did it all myself. Didn't need a man. Don't need a man. I did it all myself. I'd rather do it myself than do it with someone that I didn't see as my equal. If he's not somebody that can be a leader, be a role model to the boys and men that would be looking up to him, I'll do it myself and I'll be their role model. Because that's what I'm trying to be for my sons. I want to be, should they settle down with women and have kids in there, I want them to look for women who are hardworking and honest and, have morals and that like me. I can't wait to dress the way that I want to dress, though. People are looking to me now. I'm giving them hope and inspiration. I'm building a picture for them where they can actually see it manifesting in real life. And it's bringing them calm. They're not afraid of what's coming now because they see what's coming. People can threaten us with all they like. You can have your doomsdayers running around like chickens with their heads cut off and that, but that's not the world that I know that God is building. The world that I know that God is building is just like how it was in the 1950s. You won't have to worry about the food you eat, certainly in my establishments. You're not going to have to worry about chemicals, and you'll be able to read all the ingredients on the back of our products, and there'll be no artificial nothings. And I've been working on so many different kinds of breads and ice creams, it's not funny. It's just until, things get sorted with my boys, I've got no one to try all my products out on, but I've got recipes sitting there ready to go. Protein bars, my breakfast cookies, my breakfast bars, for people that, because it happens to me a lot, it's why I created them. Sometimes I don't want toast and cereal for breakfast. Sometimes I just want to be able to just like nibble on something while I'm having my coffee. So I came up with breakfast cookies. And not full of sugar or anything like that. It's basically cereal, a bowl of nice healthy cereal in a cookie in a bar. and you'll be able to like eat it on the bus to work or in the car or whatever, and you're getting the exact same stuff as you would having like a natural breakfast, but in a cookie, like in a bar. So and they're yummy too. And I got my protein bars that was inspired by NASA, and great for my gym. For the people working out in my gym, they can have my protein bars, and we'll have all our different like shakes. And when I was staying at the gym in Wisconsin at one of my students' houses, at her business, because she had like a spa and beauty centre, and she had like a counter where they used to do like shakes and all that sort of thing. So I learned a lot. I really did. I know what to do. I know what not to do. And we're going to my boys and I were working on all our different kinds of milkshakes, and I've been working on my smoothies and my fruit juices, and I've been having a blast trying out all different fruits and flavors, and yeah, protein bars, protein shakes, all of that. So I'm going to need farmers. I'm going to need farmers and fruit growers, and I'll be employing a lot of people in the farming and agricultural industry, especially if I get to put stores all over the place, branch out. If I can get my stores in other countries, in other cities, other towns, that sort of thing, I'll be over the moon. I just have to be the best, and I'll only employ the best. And whoever invests in me isn't going to be sorry. I mean, we're going to have everything from the occult side to the tourism side, arts, entertainment, culture, video games, radio. The only thing is my space program. I don't know how, with my navigation system, but with my gaming chair, Switzerland might be the very place to get the engineers and that I would need to help me put my gaming chair together. Because you know what they're like for their engineering and boffinry. But the thing is, my space program, it's not like it's going to be like NASA or SpaceX, because it's not a rocket. It's barely the size of a Yaris. And it's a navigation program where we're taking things up to have a squiz, to have a look around. But that place, there's actually, it's sitting right there, my observatory, what we could be turning into the observatory, where they could see the amber diamond and the Cygnus constellation. So, the Princess Amber Rose, Amber Rose, my Disney princess, they'll be able to look at her constellation. She's up there, and they'll be able to see the star of Brihenus and the Cepheus constellation right next door. So we'll have the North Star Cadets, which will be, like our what do you call it? For kids that want to learn about space, and yeah, a space program, like space cadets. Have a telescope, and God, I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's like I'm almost too scared to dream, because it's like when I found that place, it's like everything is just starting to make sense. And I swear to you, this place that I found that is perfect for me, I'm pretty sure I dreamt about it in the Snow White Rose Red dream. So if people are looking to invest, they can invest in me, because it'll be a sure thing. And you get blessings from God, because because you're saving children. When you put money in me, you're putting money in saving children and building a better future for children. And so God will bless us. God will bless us all. Bless us, everyone. I'm getting excited, and I shouldn't be getting excited. Yeah, I can do this. I can actually do this. Do it by myself. Do it all myself. I feel like I'm finally possibly heading in the right direction. We'll just see what happens now. But it's coming into view, and I'm doing it all myself. I'm proud of myself. Because this whole time I thought that none of this was going to be possible if I didn't have my protector. I had always been led to believe that it was me and my protector, that me and my husband were going to build it together, and that we'd, be doing this together. And it didn't work out that way, because none of the potentials or possibilities stepped up to the plate. So I did it myself, and it turns out I didn't need a protector. So I don't know what my teacher meant then. Maybe that's just one thing she got wrong, because she said the land of A's as well, and there's like one A in Switzerland. The land of A, she said, I'd be welcomed with open arms by to the land of A's. I'll have to have a look and see. I'll have another look at those properties and see if any of those places have got lots of A's in them, because those places don't have A's in them. I'm pretty sure Switzerland only has one A, so maybe she got some stuff wrong. She said he'd be waiting for me on bended knee. She said she thought he was Native American. So maybe she got some stuff wrong. She could have been, she could have been C. Martin if Martin had have passed the Judas test, because, this way or that. It can go this way or it can go that way. So she could have been seeing what was supposed to be, had he of passed the test. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, God's the one that knows the answer to all of that. So I'm just getting excited, because while I was doing that research, I found a niche in the market that Switzerland is screaming out for. And people online as well. There's a lot of people online talking about this one particular thing, and it's like, oh, ding, 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 ding. There's a money maker there. Potential to make a lot of money. So, yep. So now I'm getting excited. Right, so I'm just wondering, do I want another cup of tea, or should I just lay back and listen to some music and slip into the night? I've been taking that CBD oil all day, I haven't noticed any pain. I've been in pain for like a few days because I had to carry some shopping into the house. And I'm not supposed to be lifting anything heavier than a bag of sugar. And obviously with the boys and that not being here, I don't really have a choice. And it pulls on my scars. And the oregano oil helped my throat. My throat isn't as sore as what it was. Like, it's helped with the inflammation in my throat and in my guts, but it's doesn't do anything for the pain from the scars, you know, from everything that was torn open and ripped in that. But the CBD oil seems to be working. And thankfully, they make CBD oil in Switzerland, and I can make my own. Because I think all that, well, I mean, that stuff's legal there, so I won't even have to worry about pain. That was one of the things that worried me about going to Russia, what I was going to do when I was in pain. I said to the boys I might have to go to Estonia or something every time I need pain relief. But I think it's like my prayers may have been answered. So we'll see how it goes. The guy online said give it about 3 or 4 days, that you really start to notice a difference after about 3 or 4 days. So we'll see what happens. I'm getting excited, and I'm trying not to get excited because I'm just thinking that Snow White Rose Red dream, I'm pretty sure, is this place that I saw that I fell in love with. I've got no one to share it with. I want to sit down with someone and just tell them like, look, and this is what it's going to look like, and this is what we're going to do. And because I've never been able to just put it all out there. I've not had anyone where I can just tell it all to. I've had to like drip feed to see if I could trust them, to see if these were people that could be trusted. None of them could be trusted. So, anyway, I'm going to go. I'll put a link in the description box for the Snow White Rose Red dream, but I'm pretty sure that I found that property from the dream. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō.